Hi everybody, my name is Francesca. I am doing my video on coping from chapter 7. I decided to go with this because personally, my grandmother passed away recently, probably like a month or two ago, and it was something that kind of stuck with me, trying to cope with the situation. I hadn't seen her in a couple of years because she lived in Puerto Rico, but seeing the differences between the way I was able to handle it and my mother was able to handle it kind of made me lean towards this topic. In the book, it's defined as, or coping is defined as the being able to manage internal and external demands of stressful situation using your thoughts or your behaviors. Um, to me, I mean, it's just I think it's very different for everyone. Everyone has a different way of coping. Everyone has a different way of dealing with situations, with stressful situations, good or bad, either or. It just depends on how that person feels or how that person was brought up to be or how they deal with anything. Um, Anything like depression, anger, happiness, laughter, things like that are different ways that people use of cope. People can um, kind of like decide to avoid the situation instead of dealing with it head on, or dealing with it head on instead of avoiding the situation when they should. Like, everybody just has a different way of doing it, and personalities, um it just depends on how each person reacts to different stressful situations. For example, I mean, my grandmother was everything to me. Okay? She meant so much to me, and she raised me till I was 5, and I felt it was going to hurt more because I loved her so much, and I was weeks crying and trying to deal with the situation. Um, but because I hadn't seen her in such a long time, I realized that that contact kind of made it easier for me to cope with the situation. I was able to deal with it day to day, and reminding myself that it was better that way because she was suffering in the end. For my mother, it was a lot. It was very different. She decided to just not deal with it at all, and she decided to emotionally avoid any type of conversation about my grandmother or anything like that. And it's actually been a lot harder for her to deal with it. So I mean, it really depends on the person at the end of the day. Um, when it comes to coping with stress or with any situation in your life, really, it's just dependent on who you are, how you react to these situations, and um, how you end up dealing with your feelings and the encounters of each stressful moment, and the influence and things that determine the environment, um, that offers the determining factors for how you're going to respond to each situation. It's just, how you cope with everything. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I chose coping, and thank you.